अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाजरीन, आप देख रहे हैं प्रोग्राम एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस और मैं हूं आपका होस्ट शकील अहमद। नाजरीन, जर्मनी बतौर स्टडी डेस्टिनेशन पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए एक बहुत ही फेवरेट जगह समझी जाती है। बहुत से पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट वीज़ा के लिए, वर्क वीज़ा के लिए और विज़िट के लिए जर्मनी को प्रायोरिटी डेस्टिनेशन समझते हैं। तो आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे कि जर्मनी में एजुकेशन की, आला तालीम की क्या डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस हैं, फ्री एजुकेशन क्या है और इसका क्या कॉन्सेप्ट है, और स्टूडेंट्स के लिए क्या डिफरेंट ऑप्शंस हैं अगर वो अपनी आला तालीम जर्मनी में जारी रखना चाहते हैं। तो आज जर्मनी से हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं IUBH यूनिवर्सिटी जर्मनी के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव मिस्टर Michael Johnson. Michael, thank you very much for joining us right away from Germany, and we are much obliged that you have given us a time to discuss about study option for Pakistani students at IUBH University, Germany. Going for the first question, Michael, let us know about the current situation that's going on there in Germany with respect to COVID-19, please.
Right, exactly. So first of all, shukriya. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm glad to talk to all the viewers today in Pakistan.
Pleasure.
Who could have imagined on December 31st, when everybody was quite excited about the new year, what the year 2020 would bring? It's been quite a shock to the entire globe, of course, the pandemic. When it comes to Germany in specific, then, to be quite honest, living here in Germany, the last few months have been quite boring. The pandemic here started around March. The most cases we had in one day was around 6,000. This was also in March. However, Germany's healthcare system is highly advanced. We were very well equipped to, treat the patients, to handle the cases that were coming in. And, as of now, we have luckily been able to basically beat the virus. So now per day, we have about 100 to 200 confirmed cases that are new each day. When we go outside, when you go into different stores, etc., you have to wear a mask. However, in general, public transport is going, the stores are open, movie theaters are open. Life has almost returned to normal.
Great. If I ask that, keeping in view the current situation, the different universities or the organizations are really facilitating their employer, students, and the other people. So what different steps have been taken by your university to facilitate and compensate students in these hard times?
Right, exactly. So as you can imagine, this pandemic came almost overnight, really, in Germany. So all of a sudden, as a university, we had to find a way to, also take care of our students, make sure that they're safe, make sure that they're getting, the good quality education that they're expecting, etc. Which we were able to, luckily do very quickly. So in March, when all of this had happened, we very quickly switched to online classes for our students that were currently studying. We used Zoom classrooms. So basically, to give you an idea of what this is, it's a classroom experience where you will have live sessions with your respective professor. You can also talk to your fellow classmates, hold presentations. It's really just like being in the classroom. However, of course, you're then sitting at home. This was extremely important, naturally, because we want to make sure the students were holding up the social distancing. That way, none of our students are affected. As of now, I have not heard of an IUBH student that has become infected with the virus. Also, from the employee side, as you can see, I'm joining you today from home. A lot of us in Germany are working from home at the moment still. We will continue to do so until we are, as you had mentioned before, the viruses, go down hopefully to a zero. In general, it really also depends on where you work. Some people are also returning to the office. I come to the office every so often. As I mentioned before, public transport is working. So far, when it comes from the university side, we've been easily able to implement many measures to ensure student safety. Furthermore, we do have, hygienic standards, or so maybe hygiene gel all over the university campus. That way students can disinfect their hands, things like this.
Fantastic. And moving ahead, how much optimistic you are that when the classes are going to start in person on campus there in Germany for IUBH, and when student would be capable to enjoy their study in Germany?
Right, definitely. So at IUBH, we are completely confident that our students will be able to return to the classroom in October. So our classes will start in October, and we believe fully that that we will have our normal classes. The professor will be there, the students will be there. The class size might be a little bit smaller. So at IUBH, one of the important things is that we always have rather small class sizes, a maximum of 30 students. However, given the current situation, I imagine that we will halve this, so maybe 12 to 15 students. That way, they can be spaced out. And even though we're taking all of these measures, we want to make sure that the risk of infection, etc., even though they have returned to the classrooms, is still very, very low.
Okay, great. And Michael, as you guys are continuously in contact with the different consulates, different embassies of Germany, they are spread it around the globe. So what information you have carried about opening of embassy here in Pakistan for student visa processes that can start right away here from Pakistan?
Right, correct. So I know that you have two embassies there, one in Islamabad, one in Karachi. The embassy in Karachi, as far as I know, is accepting applications, etc. Again, we can't really tell what the situation will bring in the end. So we always encourage students, once they decide to apply, to please make sure that you are, contacting the embassy, that you're looking to see if there's appointment availability, to see that, there are openings. Once you then give up your documents for visa stamping, etc., we can, from our side, make sure that we're in touch with the local authorities. But again, I always implore you guys, as soon as you decide that you want to study in Germany, please make sure to, get an appointment as soon as quickly, apply for this as soon as quickly, or as soon as possible. That way, your chances of receiving an appointment relatively soon become much higher.
Great. And Michael, we have observed here in Pakistan always a great disturbance with respect to German embassy working here in Pakistan, as the students will always complain about long delays, or you can say the very long timings for student interviews. So keeping the current situation, what do you think, how the embassy will cope with the a great number of application, as they were even closed, they even closed working during COVID-19. So how they will accommodate students now then?
Right, exactly. So officially, how the embassy plans on, I would say, taking care of the backlog of all of these visa applications, I can't give any official advice. That's something for the embassy to decide, of course. However, from IUBH's side, we do have a lot of different options for the students. So I completely understand that, you guys waiting to receive your visa or waiting for long periods to even receive an appointment is quite frustrating. You're wasting time, etc. So we do offer all of our students the option to take and start with online classes. So come October, say you cannot make it to IUBH's campus right away, you can easily choose the online classes option. And again, this is utilizing the Zoom classrooms. So you will have live professors, you will have classmates, etc. This way you do not have to waste any time. So basically you can start your classes on time while you're waiting for the visa appointment, should it take a little bit longer. And as soon as you do receive your appointment, you can then, go to your interview. Once you receive your visa, simply book a flight ticket and then come to Germany.
Great. And further, if I ask about the working opportunities for Pakistani students, as you know, the situation around the globe is a bit difficult, hard. The work opportunities are limited. But what you see for the prospective students, the students who will be joining IUBH for coming intake or the later intakes, so what do you think are the work opportunities or the option for these prospective students there in Germany?
Right, exactly. So there's two ways we can differentiate between this, of course. If we want to talk about students who would like to work during their studies, as I mentioned before, of course, Germany had closed down for maybe 2-3 weeks, so all of the stores were closed, restaurants, etc. However, this is not the case anymore. So all of the restaurants, stores, etc., basically everything has reopened, which of course means they're also hiring. So when it comes to student perspectives, student jobs in general, students should not have an issue. We do have the two campuses, one in Berlin and Bad Honnef. To speak about Berlin quickly, it is the capital of Germany with almost 4 million people. So of course you can imagine their job chances are very, very high. When it comes to Bad Honnef, this is located near very many large cities such as Bonn, Cologne, all the way to Düsseldorf, which is an hour in the north. Here in general, of course, job chances are also high. You just have to simply take the train to your job. So that's the one part. The second part, of course, is maybe you're asking or you're wondering, okay, will this pandemic affect my job chances later on once I graduate? Now here it's important to realize that your graduation then when you attend IUBH, if you do a 1-year master's or a 3-year bachelor's, is in the future. Yesterday, actually, the EU decided on a packet to basically save a lot of the businesses, companies, etc. It is the largest, I would say, saving package that the EU has ever created, which means that, of course, that the EU is very proactive in making sure that the economic impact of this virus is very low. So you can imagine that when you graduate within 1 year, that the EU has already bounced back. And given, Brexit, etc., Germany has, only grown stronger in the economy. Germany is considered the powerhouse of Europe. It is the #1 economic power. And we fully expect Germany to remain this, if not become stronger after the pandemic as well. So again,
Great.
when it comes to job chances later, we help you with our career service. We do have a form of placement for you guys. We help you with the entire process. So job perspectives are, looking positive.
All right. So here I will definitely ask Johnson few points that if somebody from Pakistan or the students who are watching us right away, if they just want to proceed ahead for their higher education at IUBHjrmney, so why they have to choose IUBH? On the other hand, this is a private sector institution. On the other hand, there are options for free education in Germany as well. So how will you define why a student must be opting for IUBH then?
Right, exactly. That's a very good question. So we'll talk about, a couple of the services we offer at IUBH, things that you don't receive at normal public universities. Afterwards, I'll answer your second question and I can tell you kind of a personal story about this. So when it comes to extra things that we offer our students that no other university does, first I would really like to focus on the career service department. This is a really great tool for you guys. So I know that there in Pakistan you usually have this placement. When you go to university, you generally kind of know where you're going to be employed afterwards. And in Germany or in general, more Western countries, this is not the case. Usually the student is forced to completely and independently find employment later. We realize this is, maybe an issue for international students who don't understand the German job system. So we give, our students application trainings, we give them workshops, we have career days on campus where we invite around 250 to 300 of our business partners. We do have over 3,500 business partners, so we were very easily able to, make the connection between you and so, the sector or the field that you'd like to go into later. This is something we're very, very, active in, something we're very proud of, because almost 95% of our students do have a job within 6 months of graduation. The national average in Germany tends to be between, 1 year to 1.5 years for an average German student. So again, it's important for us and our reputation in general that our students, when they graduate, that they go on to find employment in, fields that are desirable, that they have good jobs, etc. And on the other hand, you asked about free education. So not only is this career service department, funded by the tuition fees, but also the quality and the infrastructure that you find at IUBH is not comparable to public universities. So personally, I went to a private university and then I went to a public university afterwards. And in the private university, we had the most modern technology. We had, very many different professional teachers. They were very qualified. As soon as I switched to the public university, sometimes they didn't even have chalk to write on the board. A couple of times, students would have to extend their studies by a semester because they couldn't find teachers, etc. So when it comes to education, we do have tuition fees. However, you get what you're paid for, what you pay for. We help you with all the extra services, etc. Especially, our placement, our career service department. In general, I really would recommend then, of course, going the private way, because in the end, it really does help you for your career. And why would you study if you can't find a job later? That's one of our mottos at IUBH. We want to make sure that you guys succeed. And by studying at IUBH and us being able to connect you with our business partners, it only makes your job search later a lot easier.
That's fantastic, and it's really important to know for the students that if they are interested to go for public sector free education universities, so they definitely have the tough and difficult criteria to qualify from Pakistan as well. And as you have mentioned, over the public sector universities, as you are the private university offering state-of-the-art facilities to the student, facilitations, and you believe there is a good ROI, return on investment, once the students are graduating from their university. That's fantastic and great. And Michael, what are the different courses your university is offering? Alongside, let us, our audience, know about a fee structure in general for undergraduate and postgraduate programs, and importantly, the eligibility criteria to qualify for the admission as well.
Right, exactly. So to focus on the programs first of all, and I'm sure a big question many of you watching, is okay, Germany sounds good, but what about the German language? How important is that? What about IUBH? Do I have to study in German? And IUBH is a completely English-speaking university. Perhaps you can hear from my accent, but I'm originally from the United States, so I'm American. And one thing that I really love about IUBH is that we're kind of like an American university. When you come onto campus, we have a really great team spirit, team culture, etc. And you hear English everywhere, so it's kind of like being at home. So you guys growing up with, English as a first/second language, it wouldn't be too hard for you to adjust to IUBH's culture or campus. When it comes to the study programs, we are, mainly a business and management school. So all of our programs will have either a specialization in a specific area, whether this be hospitality, healthcare, aviation, these types of areas, or, we are offering new programs. So of course we want to be innovative. We are always looking forward to rolling out new programs. As of October, we're also offering a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Master of Science in Computer Science, Master of Engineering in Engineering Management, and Digital Business in the Bachelor's as well. The most basic course that I would say you could take is in the Bachelor's International Management and the Master's International Management. Say you guys, and I'll get to the requirements in just a second, but say you guys do not qualify for direct entry into either the Bachelor's or the Master's. So in general, if you want to go into the Bachelor's, we do have our own foundation program. This is called the Pathway Program. So given 1 year of the Pathway Program, you can always, make it into the Bachelor's, and that'll bring me then to the entry requirements. So if we are looking for entry into the Bachelor's, we need a minimum of 75% in your senior secondary and a 6.0 IELTS. I know at the moment there in Pakistan, the IELTS offices may be closed, and we realize that, for you guys, it also might be dangerous to leave, etc. Maybe you cannot leave. That way, because of this, we've decided to accept Duolingo. So you can take Duolingo from home. It's a very quick process. I think the test goes over about 2 days. You receive your results in 2 days. And again, it's also cheaper, costing only $49 American. So for this, we need a minimum of 105 points. If you do qualify for this, then you can always take the entry test, and upon passing this, you'll be granted direct access into your bachelor's. As I mentioned before, should you not, completely fulfill these criteria, you can always go into the foundation program, where we need a minimum of 50% in your senior secondary. Again, minimum 5.0 IELTS or a Duolingo, and then you can go into the foundation program.
All right. So specifically, let us, our audience, know about the general fee structure for undergraduate, for foundation and postgraduate programs.
Right, gladly. So when it comes to the bachelor programs, this costs per year 11,990 euros. Students will always have the option to either make a semester payment or a yearly payment. The semester payment is basically half plus 9% charge on that. So when it comes to the undergraduates, it's 11,990. When it comes to the one-year master program, so we do have most master programs, it's 15,990. When it comes to the two-year program, it's 13,990, and we also have an MBA as well. So when it comes then to the pathway program or the foundation program, this is the same price as the bachelor's. However, students who do gain admission to our pathway or foundation program will receive an automatic €2,200 scholarship. So in reality, it is a bit cheaper than the 11,990.
Fantastic. And Michael, very important questions. I mean, Pakistani students just want to know about this. We have got the sharp minds, quality students, and the students who have performed really well in their academics. So what are the scholarship opportunities for them at IUBH Germany there?
Right, exactly. So, of course, we love to reward students who are high performing, students who are going into certain sectors, students that have, an interesting background, and we have 4 different scholarships that we're offering currently. So within these scholarships, depending on, your grades, your background, as well as your IELTS, you can receive 1,500 to 2,500 euro scholarship. I'll go quickly through each of them. So the first one is the Superior Scholarship. This is for students that have had, a very high academic achievement. There is the Entrepreneur Scholarship for students that have, some type of business idea. So sometimes our students actually have already founded their own business. You would just make a PowerPoint presentation, send it to your personal study advisor, and then they could possibly award you with a scholarship for this. We have the Women in Tech Scholarship. So this is specifically for, women going to more male-dominated fields. This tend to be the tech industry. This will be, computer science, for example, where you would then make a PowerPoint presentation, just send it into your personal study advisor, and they could possibly award you with a scholarship. And finally, we have the Engagement Scholarship. And this is for students that were very active in their community, perhaps you have volunteered in a charity. Again, make another presentation about your activities there, and we can award you possibly with a scholarship.
Great. So these are the different 4 scholarship Pakistani student or any international students can avail at IUBH. Further, if we would discuss about the work opportunities, as you have mentioned, once the student, Michael, once the students are graduated from IUBH, I mean, once they have completed their bachelor's or master's, so what opportunities for the students are there? Are they allowed to go for immigration or some post-study work? So what is the information with respect to their settlement right after their completion of their program?
Right, exactly. So this is actually great news for you guys. So when it comes to the German after-study laws, after-study visa, it's actually very easy to get. If you're looking to go abroad at a German university, however, I please ask you to make sure that it is an accredited university. So IUBH is fully accredited. We only offer accredited programs. That way you guys can benefit from the stay-back visa option. The stay-back visa is a 1.5-year or 18-month visa that students will automatically receive upon graduation. You simply take your degree and your transcripts to the Foreigners Authority, tell them that you would like to stay and you would like to receive the stay-back visa option, and they will then grant you this. I personally did this, so of course, as I mentioned before, I'm from the United States and I came to Germany to do my education as well. I also had this visa. I simply took my diploma, my degree, my transcripts to the local authority, and 2 weeks later I had my visa. So again, you're definitely guaranteed the visa if you graduate from IUBH. Furthermore, if you want to talk about then work visa, etc., PR, Germany here is also very lax. So if you'd like to gain PR, the only requirements therefore is that you speak a B1 level of German, and we do offer you guys free German language classes at IUBH, so you just have to sign up for this and you can already achieve that during your studies, and you have to work 2 years full time. So once you fulfill these requirements, you can already apply for PR, and in the very, very long future, if you decide for citizenship, then you can already gain citizenship after 6 years. If you once again speak a B1 level of German, have worked in Germany for these 6 years, graduated from a German university such as IUBH.
Great. And if students are interested to apply at IUBH, so what are the deadlines for them to apply, and what is the timeline for admission? How many intakes in a year? So what information you have to share with us about the university timelines for admission purposes?
Right, exactly. So this is something that is also a great benefit to you guys. We actually do not have any application deadlines at all. So that means you can apply for any intake at any time. You know,
Great.
what happens basically? Exactly. It's a really good process. So basically everything is done digitally as well. That means you don't have to send anything through the mail, and this makes things go a lot faster. So once you upload your application, then whether you do this, basically it'll go through to one of the personal study advisors. So each student is designated a personal study advisor. I also work as a study advisor on the side. That way you have one person at IUBH that you already know that guides you through the entire admissions process. This is really helpful because you can ask this person any question, query, doubt that you might be having. And we also meet our students once they arrive on campus as well. So perhaps then you would already have a friend here in Germany when you arrive. So basically the first step would be to upload your application online. Afterwards, you will be invited to an admission interview. The admission interview, you don't really have to be nervous about this at all. It's really just a conversation between the study advisor and you about your academic background, your plans for the future. I always ask my students what their favorite movie is. That way I can also get to know them on a personal level. And in general, personally, I have a lot of fun meeting a lot of the students. Afterwards, you will receive an offer letter. We do work with a deposit system, and the deposit for Pakistan is 3,000 euros. Here, however, we also have a discount. So until the 31st of July, if you apply quickly and you receive the offer letter before then, you can already benefit from it. And you make the deposit payment within 4 weeks, you already receive 1,000 euros off. So once you do confirm, and again, we want to make sure that you guys, take time to, decide which university you want to go to. It's a very big decision. Once you do make the deposit payment and you do save your study place at IUBH, we will further coach you for your visa appointment. So your visa appointment at the embassy, of course, is something that you might also be nervous about. And we want to help you, of course, achieve your visa status. So we'll have a mock interview. We'll ask you some questions that they might ask you at the embassy. That way you're completely prepared for your interview. Finally,
All right.
when you do receive your visa, then you receive your tuition contract, letter of acceptance. You can book your flight ticket and already come to Germany.
Michael, that's great. And in the end, Michael, I will definitely ask that students have got to know about IUBHjrmney. Now they will be interested to apply for the master's or undergraduate or the foundations program there in Germany for IUBH. So let our audience know about that, how one can apply to IUBH easily.
Right, exactly. So again, when it comes to making this decision to study abroad, there's a lot of thought that has to go into it. There's a lot of, formalities, etc., which is why I always recommend that you go with a trusted agency. So there, if you go again and contact the number on the screen there, they can help you with all your questions, queries, doubts. We've been working together for quite a long time. They're very reputable. And again, you have to sometimes be careful with who you choose to, help you with going abroad to, further your dreams and further your study goals. So again, please contact the number. They can help you with all of your, application process, the visa, preparatory, everything basically.
That's great. Michael, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure it was a very productive and informative session for Pakistani student and youth, and they would definitely consider IUBH as their study destination. So take care of yourself. Thank you very much once again. Bye-bye.
No, thank you for having me. Shukriya. It was great being here. And thank you very much. Right. Goodbye.
जी तो नाजरीन, आपने प्रोग्राम देखा, उम्मीद है आपको पसंद आया होगा. माइकल का इम्पॉर्टेंटली ये कहना था कि जो स्टूडेंट्स जर्मनी को अपना स्टडी डेस्टिनेशन बनाते हैं तो डेफिनेटली उनके लिए फ्यूचर ऑप्शंस बहुत ज़बरदस्त हैं. मसलन अपने मास्टर या बैचलर्स कंप्लीट करने के बाद 18 मंथ्स का ऑटोमेटिक वीज़ा प्रोवाइड किया जाता है वहाँ की गवर्नमेंट से, जिसमें वो अपनी जॉब वगैरह सर्च कर सकते हैं और ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ काम कर सकते हैं. इसके बाद कंसेक्टिव 2 इयर्स काम करने के बाद दे कैन इवन अप्लाई फॉर पीआर ऑप्शंस हैं, एंड देन कंसेक्टिव 6 इयर्स के बाद ग्रीन कार्ड और इमिग्रेशन जिसको हम कहते हैं वो भी अवेलेबिलिटी स्टूडेंट्स, पाकिस्तानी स्टूडेंट्स या किसी भी इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट्स के लिए वहाँ पे मौजूद है. हमें अपने फीडबैक से ज़रूर आगाह कीजिएगा. حاضر ہوں گے اگلے پروگرام میں ایک نئے ایکسپرٹ ایڈوائس کے ساتھ. تب تک کے لیے اجازت دیجیے. اللہ حمی و ناصر.